That's not the intro. Okay. Welcome to That Guy's a Maniac, the podcast. We are a podcast about video games. My name is Richie. With me, as always, is Farley. Say hello.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, you're going to say ho, ho. Okay, cool. What else? Oh, socials. We have a website, which is www.thatguys.co.uk. You can also catch us on most of the social sites at That Guy's a Maniac. All one word, lowercase. Farley, season 3, do the thing. Tell me a quote. Let me try and guess it.
First of all, we hope you'll have a Merry Christmas, readers. This is definitely being recorded in 2022. Before Christmas, the snow is in the air. And I have a festive video game quote.
A festive video game quote. Okay, go for it.
It's not festive. So. Are you ready? I've got three parts if you get stuck. The first one is move along.
Oh. Do I know this game, first of all?
Yes, definitely.
Is it when you click on the torrents in Warcraft 3?
No.
Okay, give me the second quote.
Keep moving.
Is it when you click on the torrents in Warcraft 3?
No.
For long. Keep
move
moving.
Along. Keep moving.
Oh, see, it's definitely ringing bells.
Mm-hmm. Move along.
Move along.
Keep moving.
Is it a side scroller?
It is not a side scroller. I can see where that thought process comes from.
Yeah. Move along. Is it like a tactical RPG thing?
It is a isometric tactical RPG type jobby.
Of course I know what it is. Is it Syndicate? Or Syndicate Wars?
It is Syndicate or Syndicate Wars, yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I could just hear it. Just suddenly, yeah, awesome. Brilliant.
Because you hear it.
Yeah.
It just plays right ambiently in the background.
Yeah.
But it's also in the intro on the Amiga version. So I remember I got Syndicate Wars on the PlayStation. My first PlayStation game, actually. And because my mate had been ranting and raving about it on the Amiga. But then there was some controversy. But at the time, this would have been like a controversy around my mates at secondary school. So probably not a national happening. About the difference between the intros. And he thought that the intro to the Amiga version was amazing. And so I've been trying to look it up, and I can only find the Amiga version. And I remember watching it at the time, and being, oh man, this is so cool. It's so bad now.
Yeah.
But the concept's quite cool. It's somebody whose happy chip is failing, and then it's just guys in trench coats doing machine guns. Yeah.
Yeah.
PlayStation ones, there's no. I mean, it's so ridiculous. It looks like when there's this guy who gets shot with a minigun, but it looks like someone's throwing a tomato.
I mean, those were like the 3D rendered cartoons that you used to get. Not even like nowadays where you've got the bodysuits and stuff like that. That was just genuine, pretty much stop motion, but using 3D clay models.
Yeah, I know we talked about it before, but I just find it so fascinating how when I watched that at the time, thinking like, oh, it's so hyper realistic.
Yes.
You look at it, like, how were we duped by that? It's just interesting to be. I guess it's when you're on the curve of how things are changing, right? And just the fucked up way your memory kind of remembers these things as being perfect. I remember reading. I was reading something very good. I can't
Awesome.
remember what it was. And they were saying, when they saw the name, what was the horse in Majora's Mask? Not Ocarina of Time. Epona.
Yep.
So when they saw that, I was like, this is. How are they ever going to make a better video game?
I mean, I'm with you. It's just like
It's the most perfect.
Looking at the N64, and you're just
video
like,
game horse there ever was.
Yeah.
And cannot be bettered.
And it's just like, you accept the flaws. You see, I understand that this horse has to have boxes on it.
Angles.
Yeah.
Angles.
Yeah, exactly. But that you forgive it. Like, it is 100%. This is fine. This is great because it is the best looking horse ever, and it technically was the best looking computer generated, playable, rideable horse at that point.
Yeah. But there's something funny about how that registers in the memory, and then looking back in it just obviously looks very bad, very dated. But I guess you're right. At the time, it was the best. Blah blah blah, whatever. But I think it's some smoothing of the corners that your memory does to it.
Yes.
Particularly because
the boxes on the angles, literally smoothing of the corners.
but also metaphorically, and I think it's because certainly for games you like, you have such a high engagement of it.
Yeah.
That it really does funny things in your memory space. It just makes you remember it completely differently, but not too differently. It's not like I loaded up the intro to the Syndicate intro and was like, oh, that's different to how I remembered it. It's exactly how I remembered it, but I just remembered it being better.
Yeah, No, rose tinted is all rose. Excuse me, rose tinted, and it's just. There are several games you just need to go back in with low expectations on.
Yeah.
You just need to be able to,
I'm super interested in when GoldenEye comes to the online N64.
I mean, I remember how bad they were as well. Like, those were spindly square guys, and some of them had faces that were supposed to be Roger Moore or whatever. But honestly, unless somebody told you, you wouldn't be able to tell who that was supposed to be. Oh, is that Sean Bean? Alright, okay. And basically all he has is a sort of a angular face plate that has a skin on it, that says, I am Sean Bean,
It basically looks like a Roblox character.
Yeah, or the old Quake models. Did you ever do Quake skinning or anything like that?
No, the only skinning I got into was in the Sims Deluxe. I remember doing that.
Oh, like on the PC or?
Yeah, on the PC, where you look at this hellish, because they unfold it into.
Yeah, it is absolutely hellish. It's like straight out of Hellraiser. It's like this skin has been stretched on hooks.
They're tanning this person's skin, and then it magically folds into. At the time, a fairly realistic look, or whatever you were trying to make. So I spent loads of time on the Sims Deluxe making custom. I think it was just for the Sims. So it wasn't. You couldn't do the furniture and stuff. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, my point was exactly the same for Quake. Like you do get these stretched out, disgusting models, and I remember. I didn't even play Quake that much, but I was very, very excited by the online skinning community.
Weird,
Yeah. Yeah, it really does, actually. Yeah. Skinning and tanning. Human leather workers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forbidden Leather Guild.
Yeah. But yeah, excuse me. Yeah, I just remember like being like looking at all of these skins over and over, and like the same for The Sims. Also, a game called Freedom Force. I think we talked about Freedom Force before.
You talked about Freedom.
I've talked about Freedom Force before, because the skinning community, which is still very, very abundant for it, is basically about, because they were all meant to be comic book heroes. It's about changing them into the comic book heroes they were meant to be parodies of.
Yeah.
So you've got like Captain America and Iron Man and all these people in there to replace the other ones.
Do you know what I feel just talking about these old communities? I feel really sad, really sorry for the people who, perhaps if we believe in the fact that there are geniuses, innate geniuses, and some people are geniuses, but their forum in which their geniuses are, the peak of their artistic creativity is making like me's that look like other things.
Yeah. Yeah.
and sadly that medium, just over time went from you had a forum to express that, and now it's virtually non-existent. It's the same as some of the skin people. You look at it. Animal Crossing is another good one as well, right? Since the N64, you had really limited tools to create canvases, and now you can create everything. And some people are just fucking good at you just look at it and go, oh man, I don't have either the patience or the intelligence to work out how I need to break this down or pixelate it, or especially with the skins we were talking about, how you work out how that looks like a decent thing once it's wrapped around a 3D model.
Yeah, no, you definitely can. You're going to be stuck in this weird sort of limbo of loading something up, because I remember that as well. It's like you would make a skin, you then need to load it up, and then see your character in 3D like walk up to a mirrored object of some kind,
the face is in the wrong place.
Yeah. Or it's just one giant face with like eyes coming out of his shoulders, You're like, oh shit, how did that happen?
I want to do that. I want to create an exhibition, maybe for like the National Video Game Museum, about the world's most amazing artists in these extremely niche mediums, which have now just completely vanished.
Do you remember? Do you remember Kev?
No.
You must remember Kev. Back in the days when we used to chat on MSN during work.
Oh yeah.
There was always Kev, the guy who hated Nintendo and was always about like PC controls and all that sort of stuff. He used to do skins for lots of games, but he would do Kiss skins.
Oh god, I mean that combination of things. People who like Kiss. There's definitely if you're in the part of the Venn diagram that overlaps with likes Kiss, I'm probably not going to be friends with you. And Kiss gets everywhere.
Yeah.
How many games are Kiss in?
So many. And they were in so many.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they paid for so many because it was just advertising. Free money.
Free money for games, yeah. Weird.
Yeah. It is weird. But the Kiss fans are super diehard. Like, I remember I went to an exhibition. This is very, very, really, really tenuously, not even slightly related to video games anymore.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody. I went to an exhibition, and it was basically about a guy who, over the course of a year, walked the length of a river. And as he was going along the river, he met different people. And he would sort of like camping out, and he would stay at people's houses and stuff like that. But he was doing a photojournalism of it.
Right, yeah.
And one woman that he met, she was like so psycho for Paul Stanley, lead singer of Kiss. Her ambition is basically to have Paul Stanley's kid in any way possible. Like
fishing his tissues out the bin and
yeah. Oh god, like any way possible. So like, but yeah, like the place he was staying, everything was Kiss. Yeah. Everything. There was like ceiling to floor, framed pictures of like Kiss posters, Paul Stanley, probably one of those, humping pillows in our bed, Well, I forget what they're called. They've got a name.
Everyone knows that's what you actually do. The humping pillows, yeah.
What are they called? It begins with a D. Everything begins with a D.
Character pillows, those? I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway,
but the thing is with Kiss, is they were never good. In my opinion.
They have,
I just never got it. I just never got the appeal. The music wasn't great. The whole shtick was, with the tongues and the makeup was just, Yeah.
I didn't hate some Kiss songs, and I've definitely...
Name a Kiss song that I might know.
Shout It Out Loud.
Is that... Can you sing it?
No.
Okay, then no. I'm not ringing any bells.
What else? I mean, they have tons. God Gave Rock and Roll to You.
Yeah. Okay. Is that Kiss?
Yeah, that was Kiss, but it was also Bill and Ted at the end of Bogus Journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you know it. That's.
I think their version was probably better.
Well, it was Kiss. But
you okay? You sound like you're dying.
I got a cold during Christmas. It's definitely 2022. And this I have.
You mean during now?
I have a lit.
In the future, you got a cold during the future. Okay.
During the now. And basically, this is the remnants of my cold. I couldn't talk yesterday. And I was thinking, oh shit, it's a good job I'm not doing a podcast or anything like that. Yeah. And basically, I'm fine, except if I talk too much. So yeah, great, fantastic, good job, good time to do a podcast, Richie.
Thankfully, what you're telling that little soliloquy, God Gave Rock and Roll to You is a 1973 song by the British band Argent.
Is it really? And Kiss just covered it
in the 90s, yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought I might have to concede that being interested in Kiss. Look, listen, I don't want to gatekeep, and especially don't want to gatekeep Kiss. Who has got time for that? I'm just saying, I don't get it. I don't get why Kiss specifically, and it is known for it, right? Has this mad fan base. These people who follow them around. These people who decorate their houses. These people who want, in a way that other bands just never had, or I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
I think other bands do. I think people do get madly fanatic. Mm-hmm. Putting the fan in fanatic. Although I think that is technically where the word comes from, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen, nice segue into. we're all excited for Christmas. And Christmas video games, because they're mostly developed by white Western Christians. Has a lot of lots of Christmas shit in video games, right? But we didn't just want to talk about Christmas shit. Everybody's done that. What we want to talk about is video games.
What we want to talk about with Kiss skins and
is the intro to Syndicate and the skinning community in 1990s PC games. The games which give us Christmas memories. So they might not necessarily be, because let's cover it. Are you playing many games currently, Christmas 2022?
Yeah, I've been going through a few of them, yeah.
And do any of them have Christmas
no.
skins or at the moment I'm playing Warframe, and you can decorate your thing with Christmas, and there's various Christmas costumes.
Yeah.
Pokemon Masters, there's a seasonal Christmassy thing. All these games as a service have, Christmassy or holiday.
World of Warcraft has the Winter Veil thing going on,
But we're not just talking about those things. We're talking about the games which take us back to a Christmassy feeling. Either, the games we got at Christmas, or remember getting at Christmas, or sitting around playing at Christmas. So that's how we're going to end the year 2022, this current year.
I mean, this podcast goes out in like a few days' time. It is going to be 2023.
Okay.
I think we can drop the charade.
Okay.
This is the Christmas episode we didn't do before Christmas.
No.
Well, I suppose one thing I wanted to sort of...
It's really hard to generate a festive feeling,
Yeah.
on the 2nd of January.
Yeah, I know, it's hard. It's like there are still people, like, you will still see people wearing like Santa hats or Christmas jumpers still, and you're just kind of like, oh, come on.
No.
Don't beat a dead horse,
All that build-up, months of build-up. I think I heard Christmas songs in the supermarket like September.
Yeah, exactly.
A local big-name department store near me had a whole Christmas tree section.
I think you can name them. I think it's fine.
No, I don't want to give them free advertising.
Alright, advertising. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, Christmas. Yeah. So, do you have any Christmas memories, video games, Christmas?
Christmas for me has generally been a time where I got new video games. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's the same for you.
Yes. I'll talk about it later.
Yeah, I think every major video game system that I have got was around Christmas, yeah. So I think, thinking back, the first one that I got was the Commodore 64.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually a latecomer to the Commodore 64. I shouldn't have got a Commodore 64. It was way past, it's like end of generation, before generations were really a thing.
Yeah, I've been there on a couple of systems. And sometimes it's a good place to be, right? Because all the games are cheap, everything's out.
Yep. Yeah, so yeah, I got a C64 quite late on, and I got it for Christmas, but of course, me being me, there was a bit of drama as well, because I got the C64 to join in with my friends who all had Commodore 64s, and I'd played around their house and stuff like that. But the Commodore 64 I got, the sound didn't work. And I was a lad, and I was so happy to finally have a games console. It was technically my first one. I didn't tell my mum. I basically just kind of stayed quiet because I didn't want it to be returned. I was just like, oh.
Is this why you still play games without the sound on?
Well, no, I don't think there's any deep-seated thing. But basically, I ended up actually telling my mum. And then, as New Year came around, because obviously all the video game shops were shut and things like that, it wasn't until after New Year's that I got a refund, a replacement, repair. So it was weird. It was kind of like I got this for Christmas, and then I had to give it back, but they had to send it off for repair and couldn't give me a new one straight away, and so it was kind of like, oh, I got it, but now I need to wait another 2 weeks. And 2 weeks when you're, what 12 is an eternity,
When you're 12 and it's school holidays. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's forever. That's 3 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You might as well...
Is my Commodore 64 back yet, Mum?
Maybe we can go to the shop and ask them.
Nah, it isn't he?
But yeah, that is
So your Christmas memory is not having a
Commodore 64. Essentially, yes. Or
just stroking the box, looking at the screenshots.
Exactly. Looking at my Commodore 64 magazines that I bought because I was all excited, and it had the free tapes on the front of it as well. Just thinking, how great will it be when I can finally play it? You know?
Yeah, arranging the tapes. Heartbreaking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that technically is my first video game memory for Christmas, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you?
I don't really have. Yeah, for some reason, I don't really have. I mean, like you, I think, like everybody of our generation, age, and social status, you would get the consoles at Christmas because they were a huge purchase, and that's when you get your games. But I think we were. It wasn't like a Methodist house, but I really don't remember it. I think it was like, you know, you get it for Christmas, but you're not just sitting playing video games on the main TV, right? Because you only had one TV back in those days. And, you know, all the cliches about your mum and dad getting angry at you because they thought that if you were playing the computer on the TV, it messed up the phone line or the internet or whatever. So I don't associate playing video games with Christmas because I think we just got them, and then it was only after all the festivities died down that we'd actually play them. So, yeah, although I think I have a lot of Christmas memories when the Wii came out, because that was the first time I can remember where everyone was playing. You know, it was like the thing for the whole family to do.
The Wii, okay.
Yeah, so for a couple of years around, you know, it would be you get together and play Wii Sports. Or Mario Kart. You know, everyone's got playing a melange of using the steering wheel and the nunchuck.
Yes.
And then the third party controller.
A melange. You're so right. I remember going around to people's house and people were just randomly playing Mario Kart, and because it was it 4-player or 8-player? It was 4-player. Like, people were just joining in, doing what they could, you know, because yeah. No, the Wii was quite a good one for that one, for the social jumping in and doing stuff. Yeah,
and it felt kind of felt a little bit special because you know, growing up as quite a nerdy kid, it was just impossible to explain. You know, there was still a lot of social stigma around computer games and video games and whatnot. And so for all of a sudden, just to see everybody, you know, hey, here's a thing that we all want to do, you know, a weird thing that you've been engaging in, and just as a natural thing, you know, it could have been like this all the time, just as a normal part of life. Sadly, it kind of completely went away with the Wii, right? I think people just had it as the Wii Sports, the dancing, Just Dance,
Guitar Hero as well. Everybody had Guitar Hero.
And then once that
wave of plastic toys,
that was it. And I guess it wasn't really capitalized on either with you know, it was just too much. SingStar as well. Yeah, it's just too much shovelware. Trying to capitalize on Wii Sports without being, you know, I remember like carnival games, and so I think people pick these up. You know, look, here's something else for us to play instead of playing Wii Sports endlessly. Put it on. Obviously tragic, right? Just tragic, awful. Not that same magic experience.
No.
And then which led to, you know, the Wii's gathering dust and eventually being consigned to the attic or whatever. But yeah, for that magical period where Christmas was the family playing games together and having fun, and, you know, grandma beasting everybody at bowling, or, you know, dad beating everyone at golf, and it was a fun time, but sadly it didn't stick, I think.
Stick.
Yeah, it didn't stick as,
No.
This is what we do.
Yeah, no,
Occasionally we still do bust the Wii out. And me and my nephew have a yearly Mario Kart competition. That's about it.
Huh, cool. But yeah, that you are very right. That zeitgeist seemed to infect like a bigger population than everyone else. But everything disappeared. There isn't such a thing as couch co-op really anymore, as we've discussed before, because everything is about being online. And of course, we had a pandemic, which just makes people not want to handle or pass over sweaty, grey controllers to each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very strange. I was reading end of year roundup, and Windjammers 2 was on the list of that top 10 games, whatever organisation that was doing their top 10, and they kind of lamented that games like Windjammers 2 absolutely are best played couch co-op, but very few games these days are.
Yeah.
But so I think with the Wii, it was just this magical confluence of it was easy to pick up and play, really easy to pick up and play fundamentally. The cuteness of making your own Mii, and then that looks like me, and then it being like the trendy things. I remember the news coverage of there's a Wii, the Queen's got a Wii, and there's a Wii in the White House, and various films.
It was really, it was properly pushed into the public focus and advertised well. I remember I got one of the last Wiis before Christmas as well. And I got it for me. It wasn't even a gift. I was quite happy to sort of like get a hold of that. And it's only because one of my friends knew like somebody at the store and says, yeah, we have a bunch that we keep behind the counter, and you can have one since you're a good guy. Not me, but mate. But yeah, it's a weird one, and I don't think that can ever really be recaptured, especially not at the price point of like consoles nowadays.
Yeah, I think Connect also helped make that go away. They're very much advertised as a similar kind of,
same,
and it just wasn't, and it was expensive, and it was finicky, and it's fiddly, and the games were shit.
Yeah, they really were.
Wasn't as pick up and play, and so I think it just tainted the whole. It really was just like that one.
And exactly the same thing with PlayStation Move as well.
Yeah, and the VR, which is why you reminded me when you talked about price point, because every now and then, now that VR's pretty much dead again, is it worth picking up, some of the top of the form thing? But no, it's still really expensive to just get a basic VR setup.
Well, the Meta one is super cheap. Like, I think the price point comes in at like 200.
That's really expensive for
a screen.
For like an hour.
Yeah, for an hour, yeah.
For like a really fun afternoon, but
But yeah, because Facebook, they got Oculus. But yeah, it's weird. The Meta one has a special disclaimer in it, which says that after end of service, the device is allowed to become non-functional. So it's weird. It's basically they could decide that you're no longer allowed to use this the headset. I think obviously because it must pump into every algorithm exactly how you move your head and walk around or whatever, and something along those lines. But yeah, it's weird because yeah, like you can get the Valve one, but it's a grand. So the price point of the Meta one is pretty good, to be honest.
Well, yeah, but it's too confusing, right? Which is, I think, again, part of the Wii success. You buy a Wii in a box, it comes with Wii Sports, you plug it in, it's fun. And then if VR was trying to do the same thing, which I don't think they were, right? The whole nature of the experience is you're sitting there alone. And there are some fun things that work on that. One person can see something and everyone else see something else, like there's that bomb diffusion game. But it just became too confusing. Too many versions of too many things.
Yep.
And if you've got this, you have to buy this and this and this. And then similar to where we are with these, with the iterations of consoles rather than the next number. Here's a game which works on this, or here's a game which benefits from being on this one, or here. And it's just, just all of that faffiness just drives people away. I had a friend who was saying, look, I'm looking at getting a Switch for my children, but I know nothing about the Nintendo ecosystem. Can you give us a idiot's guide to it? And I'm a huge fan of the Switch. Really, really love that device. But I started doing it. Oh, fucking hell, this is so complicated. Well, you need a Nintendo account to get the best of it, which is different to your kind of, your other account. And then there's 2 tiers of subscription fees. Oh God, this isn't just
no, I know.
Plug it into your TV and then that's it. You're done. It's actually quite complicated.
Well, it is if you want
to somebody who doesn't know anything about anything and is setting it up on Christmas Day. To get the most out of it. I mean.
To get the most out of it. I think that's an important part there. I had to do something similar, but you dumb it down. You say, there's the console, there's the games. They also have a digital marketplace. You can do more online, and they have different levels. But your main thing you need is the Switch console and the games and another controller. Yeah. Cool. But yeah. Christmas! I also got an Amiga 1200 for my Christmas.
Oh, fucking hell.
What?
I don't know how, right, how did that go? did that have sound?
Yes, it did have sound. So sweet. We talked about the Amiga 1200. You remember? I told you I bought it from a magazine.
Yeah, everyone could listen to us googling which box bundle we got.
Yes.
Nostalgia over. Yeah.
And so one of the bundles that I got was one with like I think 80 bits of software.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had oh god, I can't even remember. It was it was an art
deluxe
thing.
Paint Deluxe.
Paint Deluxe, and I did like Tutankhamun on the front of the box. Yeah. I got that as one of them. However, the weird thing that happened with this is it arrived before Christmas. And then there was a brief, right, this is my mum again, sort of saying to me, you're getting this for your Christmas, we need to check through that everything is here.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that wasn't there was this Tutankhamun Paint Deluxe, whatever it was. So there, my mum ended up having to phone this company and get another copy of it sent out separately because it wasn't included. Another box arrived, which actually had a few of them that I hadn't spotted that were there in the package. So there was basically a separate consignment with the extra things, including that. And then they sent another version of Paint Deluxe. So I basically had 2 Tutankhamuns. It's a good story, isn't it?
We used to play Paint Deluxe. I think.
I know.
Either last Christmas or the time before, you bought me the Bitmap Brothers Amiga book, and this section on Paint Deluxe is amazing. So there's all these, again, going back to what I was saying earlier about these people who are just top artists in these forgotten mediums. So things like the Tutankhamun mask and some of the other stuff they used in all the advertising for these packages. There's a little bit of history about the artists who made them. You know, one of them is like this reclusive woman who would just crank out this absolutely amazing artwork. You know, other people way beyond obsolescence, you know, somehow kept their Amiga going or emulated so that they could run Paint Deluxe because it was such an amazing program. And you know, there's various things you'd be surprised to hear were like run through Paint Deluxe. And I just remember we used the stencils, one of which was the Tutankhamun, whatever it is, cartouche. And one was like a townhouse, so you could like stamp a whole series of townhouses to make a street scene, and then my brother would draw we'd take it in turns to draw Stickman. It was like, here's my Stickman on the front porch. Here's my Stickman who's pissing on his head. Here's my Stickman who's on the other house. Here's my Stickman who's in a blimp above bombing the house. Here's my Stickman who, we'd play.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I used to love like all of these crazy what's it called? Sort of applications as opposed to actual games, and I would sit and I would love it. Like I remember I'm not sure if it was Paint Deluxe or not, but there was one program.
Deluxe Paint, right?
Deluxe Paint. That was it. Yeah.
Deluxe Paint.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it was Deluxe Paint or not, but there was a program on the Amiga which allowed you to render 3D. I mean, in fact, it's probably called 3D Render Pro. But I used to sit there, and you would make a donut, and then you could make a tube, or you could make a cube, or a pyramid.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And it's like floating in a 3D space, right? Very silvery. Yeah.
And you could add colours, and it would be in this sort of what's the word I'm looking for? It's not rendered. It's just sort of boxes, and it's got pretend sort of shapes with all of the vectors in them. Yeah. So it's just sort of outlines of all of the polygons in it and stuff like that. And you could look at a donut and see that it has a million, and you could like pull one and make a donut which has this great big long thin hair that comes out of it, you know. And then the fun part was, once you made your 3D arrangement, you could then render it. So you would go there and you would click render. You would wait half an hour for the Amiga to churn out and think about it. And you come back and you see your image of like a pink donut with a hair out of it, and you're like, no way, did a thing. Isn't that brilliant? I've genuinely had fun. You know? And I was like, this is lost youth, you know? Like,
I'm sure there are generations of graphic, computer graphic people, digital artists who were started off with these one of the 80 different software applications, just fiddling around with them, which we don't get these days, right? It's all just, here's your video games console.
Yeah.
And not these wacky applications.
Yeah. I guess that's the difference between it being sort of like a home computer, that you plugged into your telly, as opposed to a Nintendo or a Master System, or probably SNES at that time.
Yeah. But, I remember when we got our first proper desktop PC and internet modem, and spending hours on Encarta, the Musée d'Orsay.
Oh, like even just the operating system. That was the stuff that
CD-ROMs.
Yeah. Like, I would just be so excited about getting Windows 3.1.1 or even like Amiga Workbench.
Yeah.
Like I was so excited when Amiga Power brought out their own version of Amiga Workbench, and it was like the best, you know. And it was like it launched quicker, than any other Amiga Workbench. And it's like, no way, this is a free disc on a magazine, and it's the best. And there's no tracking, there's no ads in there, there's no other way they were paying for this. Somebody just made the best OS for Amiga and put it out for free.
Listen, I was reading an interview, another good interview from somewhere I can't remember, and Slash may have seen it, like swipe past something online, but they were saying how young kids these days, have no idea about network pathways and where your files are stored, and the fact that they are stored in folders because they never have to, or because they've been brought up on phones where you don't really have to do that kind of thing. So yeah, following on from what we were saying about
and Macs.
These days, Macs. These days you don't play around with Deluxe Paint or even have Workbench. So the fact that it's on some of those early the Amigas and Commodores, you basically had to know how to use the OS to do anything.
Yeah.
Whereas these days it all just magically happens.
But that's the thing. It's like using the OS, we were playing, we were having fun and learning in a safe environment.
Yeah.
We were playing, and it was, it's so weird that.
And I remember doing silly things like if you go and change this line of code, it enters a cheat, or if you want to, instead of it producing these sprites, if you fiddle with this file here, it'll produce these, or if you want to play your own music in the game, here's where all of that stuff, which because you want to do it through fun or showing your mates cool things, you end up working out how the actual things work. Oh, the good old days.
Yeah. But is there any games that you got specifically around Christmas that you remember and enjoy?
No.
No.
Really. I mean, I would have got them all at Christmas, but there's nothing I remember being like, hey, Christmas. This is my Christmas game.
Yeah. I remember getting Ocarina of Time. That was a good Christmas gift. Probably the game that I played a lot more of. That is in World of Warcraft.
But then were you allowed to, Christmas morning you open your presents? Because very much in our house it was like, if you get a game you can't play it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was.
You're not just fucking up upstairs or dominating the living room TV whilst everyone's around. So you have to wait until after Christmas to play this.
Oh God, no! It's like Christmas was done by about 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the day, I was just like waiting for my mum to cook dinner, so I would play games. Yeah.
There you go.
Yes, that's a little bit different. But like, I used to go out on Christmas Day or Christmas night, go out clubbing. It's actually quite a sad thing as well. I remember because the club was actually quite full as well. But I remember one year it was Christmas Day, and like I think it was you had to wear one piece of white to get in for free on Christmas Day for the club. So I wore white jeans.
Yeah.
White jeans. That's a statement, you know.
I mean, how did you even have white jeans?
I they must have been new, because I guarantee me as a human being could not keep jeans white for more than a few minutes, you know.
Yeah. I was just saying, did you have like a boy band phase?
I mean, I think everyone in the 90s did. Like, I look at pictures of myself in the 90s and I've got that stupid, you know, the curtains hairdo. The McDonald's thing.
We all had it. Yeah, we all had it.
Yeah, and I used to wear an open shirt over a t-shirt.
Ooh, I mean, I still do.
Yeah. But yeah, and like I got all my clothes from the Madhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is just like awful garish colours that just been like clearly done in a sweatshop because they were reduced price and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How the hell did we get into this?
You were saying how you used to go to the club on Christmas Day.
Where did that come from?
No.
Oh, right, yeah, Christmas morning, whether you could play games.
Christmases. Yes.
Yeah, sad Christmases.
Sad.
Depress the readers, Richie, why not?
Yeah. Was that you had to wear a piece of white story going anywhere? Or?
No, that is literally it. We should probably move on to actual video games at Christmas.
Yeah.
I got Ocarina of Time. I think that's about it, really.
The too long didn't read of this episode. 1 year, we got Ocarina of Time. Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year. Oh dear.
Good stuff.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I think that's as much as we're gonna have about our Christmas memories. You have pretty much none, and I have shit stories.
That is going to be a good one to listen back to, I think.
Right. Okay. Farley, that guy's a maniac.
Oh my god, I can't. It got dark. Massive EMP registering in Sector G2. Keep moving.
Merry Christmas, everybody.